We have some breaking news that we have to talk about. Linebacker Vince Williams has announced his retirement from the NFL after playing 8 seasons with the Pittsburgh Steelers. In this video, we're going to be discussing why Vince Williams decided to retire and who possibly could be replacing Vince Williams this upcoming season on the Steelers defense. Before we get into it, if you haven't already and you are new to the channel, make sure that you guys subscribe. I upload NFL videos and college football videos daily. Also, make sure that you guys turn on post notifications so you don't miss when I upload a new video. And most importantly, make sure that you hit that like button. That like button is really important because when you hit that like button, you help the channel rank higher in the YouTube search algorithm. If the channel ranks higher in the YouTube search algorithm, then the channel gets more views and the channel grows. So make sure that you guys go ahead and hit that like button. It takes less than a second to do, and it is a free way to support the channels. So Vince Williams has shocked Steeler Nation by announcing his retirement, and the reason why Steeler fans are so surprised about this is because earlier this offseason he was released by the Steelers, and then the Steelers decided to sign him and bring him back for another season, and then he decides to retire. And a lot of Steeler fans are thinking, okay, if you were going to retire, then why would you decide to sign the deal and come back? And the simple answer for that is life. One day we may wake up wanting to do something, and then the next day we wake up, we may not want to do it anymore. So maybe at the time when Vince Williams signed that contract to come back and return to Pittsburgh, he wanted to play football. And then after a couple of weeks and days went by, he probably had a change of heart. He probably said, you know what, it's time for me to hang it up. Now, Vince Williams was pretty solid. He's a really good tackler. He was really good at times, blitzing, getting after the quarterback at times as well. He was a really solid linebacker. And on top of that, he was a very great influence in the locker room. He was a leader. He was somebody who was well respected by not only the coaches, but also his fellow teammates as well. So he's definitely going to be missed in terms of his impact in the locker room. However, even if Vince Williams didn't decide to retire, his starting job was not secure. There were slated to be a competition for that other inside linebacker spot on the other side of Devin Bush. And when you look at Vince Williams, yes, he was really solid, but the Steelers were looking to have some competition there. So there wasn't a guarantee that he was going to be a starter once again this season like he was last year. Now with him gone, who possibly could end up replacing him this season on the Steelers defense at that other inside linebacker position with the return of Devin Bush on the other side? Well, you got Robert Spillane, you got Marcus Allen, you got rookie out of Texas A&M Buddy Johnson, and you got useless Gilbert. Now you look at Robert Spillane. If I was a betting man and I had to bet on somebody to win that other inside linebacker job, I probably would bet my money on Robert Spillane. Robert Spillane came in last season and replaced the Devin Bush when he had his season cut short. And not only did he play very well, he exceeded expectations. And I think the biggest play that Robert Spillane had was when he pretty much stopped Derrick Henry on the goal line, which is something that deserves a lot of praise because not only is it hard to do because Derrick Henry is a freight train, he's a monster truck, but on top of that, that was pretty much the game-defining play that pretty much sealed the victory for the Steelers. So you got him. I think he could probably most likely end up being the favorite to start there. So when you look at Robert Spillane, like I mentioned, he's pretty good against the run. I think he's solid in coverage as well. Then you have Marcus Allen. Now, Marcus Allen is somebody who I want to start. Okay, so you asked me, okay, JT, if you were betting on this, who you think will most likely be the starter linebacker at the other inside linebacker spot, it would be Robert Spillane. But if you were asking me who I would prefer to start, who my favorite is, I would want it to be Marcus Allen. And the reason why I want it to be Marcus Allen is because Marcus Allen has been on the Steelers squad for over the last couple of seasons now. And he came out of college out of Penn State as a safety. He kind of is now like a converted linebacker. And he has great speed. He also is very good in coverage as well. But we haven't really seen him get a lot of in-game action at inside linebacker. So I hope that Marcus Allen wins the job because I love the speed that he would bring to that other inside linebacker spot. And I also love the cover skills that he brings to that position as well. Now, you do have rookie Buddy Johnson, who you drafted in this past past year's NFL draft out of Texas A&M, and he's a really good tackler. He's really good against the run as well, similar to Vince Williams, but he's not all that great in coverage. So I think he could end up starting, but I don't think it will be likely that he does. Then you have Useless Gilbert, who is more of a wild card in this discussion, because if he's able to stay healthy and he has a pretty good preseason, then I definitely could see him starting at that other inside linebacker spot as well. But I think it's probably going to come down to Robert Spillane and Marcus Allen. Now, I think Robert Spillane is most likely going to end up getting the nod, but I'm rooting for Marcus Allen to end up starting. Now, some people think that the Steelers signed Melvin Ingram to be Vince Williams' replacement. Now, I don't really think that the Steelers signed Melvin Ingram for that purpose. You guys got to remember that the Steelers have been looking for extra depth at pass rush for over the last couple of months this offseason with the departure of Bud Dupree. You only had TJ Watt, Alex Highsmith, and the rookie out of Miami, Quincy Roche, who you drafted in this past year's NFL draft in the 6th round. So there wasn't really a lot of depth. So they brought in Melvin Ingram, I think, for some more added depth in their pass rush room. So I don't really think they're going to convert Melvin Ingram from outside linebacker, edge rusher to an inside linebacker. I don't really think that's going to happen. But some people do think that's the reason why the Steelers signed Melvin Ingram. I don't really think that's going to happen. I think that there's going to be a competition here between Spillane, Allen, Buddy Johnson, and UG3. I don't think they were going to sign Melvin Ingram to move him to inside linebacker, because if they were going to sign an inside linebacker, then they wouldn't have signed the pass rusher, a guy who has been an edge rusher for his whole entire career, moving to inside linebacker, because if that's the case, they just could have signed another inside linebacker if that's the case and not even have to worry about converting somebody. So I don't think that Melvin Ingram is going to be playing the inside linebacker for the Steelers this year in place of Vince Williams. I think it's going to come down to Robert Spillane or Marcus Allen, who's going to end up lining up next to Devin Bush at that other inside linebacker spot this season for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So you guys let me know about how you guys feel about Vince Williams retiring out of nowhere, and also let me know who you guys think is going to end up starting at that other inside linebacker spot this season for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Make sure that you guys like the video, share the video on your social media platforms with your friends, family, and acquaintances. Make sure that you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications, and thanks for watching.